All right, all right. I think this is working. Hi, everybody. All right, let me record this here. The sound is not working. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, well, I'm getting my slides set up. So first of all, hi, everybody. I'm back. My name's Jessica LaNier. Have been a coach for 7 years, and I am a resident Slate Squad product expert. I am an absolute nerd about teaching. Absolutely love teaching about our products and helping getting it into the hands of other people, and empowering you guys as coaches to understand and be able to explain the value of our products so that you can maximize your impact and your income. Who's with me? I'm going to get these slides set up, but in the chat, if you can, I would love it if you could share what is your top objection or your top objections that you get from Shakeology that we're talking about today. Screen. Okay. Let me make this bigger real quick. Oh, my goodness, it's been a long day. So disclaimer, had a bit of technical issues lately. Today, my laptop broke, or else I would be doing this live on Zoom and outside. A lot of other crazy things happened. There's a chance that my 2-year-old could wake up from her nap, and when she does that, she is a grumpy minion. She turns into one of those purple minions. So hopefully none of that happens. We're gonna blow through this, and here's what I want to do this month. Shakeology is a loaded product training. It is my favorite. I have several Shakeology trainings on YouTube over the years that I've created. I've done this for many team calls. It is my absolute favorite product to talk about because it has been the foundation of our company for so long. And I love that it's basically like multivitamin and a wellness shake mixed together. I'm gonna go through these slides. You will have these slides as well as other product training graphics that I will be getting to you guys. But I'd also like to do a follow-up training at the end of June. And I want to collect your top questions, top objections, top things that you hear from people as to why they don't drink Shakeology or what they're struggling with. And I want to create a really amazing Shakeology FAQ for you guys so that we can share it with our teams and have kind of one spot to go to. Sound good? So if you can please share in the comments or message me, share in this group, what your biggest Shakeology objections are. I'm going to work on it. Okay. So obviously this is me, my team. We're going to start this Shakeology training with a little bit of digging deep and connecting with this. Because we all talk about in our teams why it's so important to connect with your own personal reason why you're doing this. I've been doing it 7 years now. I've been with Beachbody, with Body 7 years now, and my reason's different than yours. And your reason is very important. And it's something that's personal to you. And it's why you wake up early in the morning. It's why you show up on our power hours. It's why you stay up until midnight working sometimes, because it's the only time you can get in when your kids are sleeping. Well, here's a very Cliff Notes version of why I'm here. This is me as a little girl. That was right after my 11th birthday. On my 11th birthday, my dad and I were hit by a drunk driver. And we were both metaflighted, put on life support, and in a coma. And I was in a coma for a week, and I came out of it. Excuse me. And I required 5 surgeries to save my leg. My leg was smashed between the motorcycle that we were on and the truck that hit us. And my dad passed away a couple weeks later from malpractice issues as he was coming out of his coma. So I learned at a very young age that good things or bad things can happen to good people, that you're not always in control, and that life can be over in the blink of an eye. thankfully, I had a really amazing family. I have a really amazing family. And my faith in God has always been very strong. And this was kind of a pivotal moment for me where I had to decide, what am I going to do? How am I going to do? How am I going to do this moving forward? My dad was 6'7". He was a beast of a man. He was, my hero as a little girl. And I had to learn how to move forward without him. And that happened because of two preventable things. Number one, someone got behind the wheel under the influence. And number two, I won't go into it, but the medical malpractice case that happened, he basically pulled his feeding tube out, and the nurse on call, who didn't have an active license, stuck a tube back in, continued his feeding, and it caused an infection called peritonitis, and he went septic, and that's what actually ended up killing him. And so those two preventable things completely changed my world forever. And I didn't recognize how much this subconsciously motivated me to go to nursing school, to really dive into prevention in medicine, until I was actually at one of my team retreats that my coach, Liz Hartkey, held. And we were doing an exercise of like the 7 levels of why. And those were always so frustrating to me because I would hit a plateau and I just didn't understand, and I couldn't get any deeper. And then I recognized, wow, I love what we do so much, because two things that were 100% preventable wrecked my world forever. And so I want to work in preventative healthcare. I want to help people prevent preventable suffering. And you guys, as partners with this company, that's what we do. As advocates of these amazing products, as advocates and ambassadors for having a healthy foundation, that's what we're all doing. And so that is, for me, why I'm here teaching you guys about Shakeology, why I've spent so many thousands of hours planning product trainings over the past 7 years of my life, is because of this. Because I know that you and I together, that we can really make a big impact, and we can prevent a lot of preventable suffering. Pretty rad. I'm going to give you a minute, because I want you to write down some bullet points, some sentences about why you're here. Why you're here as a partner with this company, why you're listening to this training, why you drink Shakeology, why you're prioritizing your health and being an ambassador of that. I'm going to give you a few minutes to write that down right now. A few more seconds. Okay. We are going to move on, but I really encourage you to come back to this. Okay. We're breaking down Shakeology, you guys. Are you ready? This is how my brain works. We have a solution, right? And every one of my trainings, I talk about identifying, what our product is, and then identifying the problems that we are solving for our clients with this product, with this solution. And for me, Shakeology is best understood by breaking it down into the 5 main formulas that's in each serving. And I think that Shakeology, a lot of people have a hard time with it because it is so complex. It's not like Energize is a pre-workout. We know that, right? Shakeology is not a protein powder. Shakeology is like so much more. And so it's harder to unpack, which makes it harder to teach, which makes it harder to duplicate, and harder for people to conceptualize and understand. But hopefully, after today, you will have a much easier time explaining it to other people. So compliance with our company, the legal team, nutritional team, they just have a love-hate relationship with me because I'm always pushing the boundaries on how we can better, more effectively teach about the power of especially Shakeology. So it's very important to understand and for you guys to know that the information in this training is for informational purposes only. I was not hired by Body to do this. I am a coach and I have all this information I did on my own put together, excuse me. And neither I nor our company claim that this product or any product can, or any ingredients in this product can treat, cure, prevent, or impact a disease or medical condition in any way. I have to say that. So I did, okay? But when you're talking about it on social media and publicly, it is really important to protect our company that we never talk about medical conditions and how our products can affect medical conditions, just so you guys know that. Okay, so again, we're going to talk about increasing your impact and your income by learning to match Shakeology's 5 formulas to your clients' needs. This is a good screenshot and something for you to teach your teams that with our products, we increase our impact and our income. What I love about our company, you guys, is that because there's a lot of great companies out there that sell things that are great, but our income is directly related to the people we are impacting and helping address their foundational health needs. No doubt about it. No question about it. No way around it. If you're impacting a lot of people, your income's going to go up. If you're not impacting anybody because you're too afraid of what they're going to think, or you're too afraid to send an invite, or you're too afraid, your own self's getting in the way, your income is also going to reflect that. So once we wrap our heads around that, it kind of makes it a little bit more fun, right? Take a screenshot of this while you will get these slides, I promise you. These are the 5 formulas in Shakeology in one serving. How many of you have had dozens of bottles of supplements on your counter or currently have? I was someone when I first, probably 10 years ago, my health was a wreck. Actually, when I was going through nursing school, my health was an absolute disaster. At 19 years old, they thought I had a brain tumor. My period stopped for 6 years. They told me I had the estrogen levels of a 55-year-old woman, and they didn't know why. There were so many things going on with my gut and my hormones, and I didn't understand why. I know now, but I was just a complete mess. And so I finally went to these more natural doctors and they were helping me. But there was one time, you guys, that I was taking, I kid you not, 100 pills a day. 100 pills a day. It was like 20 pills 5 times a day or something crazy like that, because I was so deficient in so many things. And so I'm a little bit scarred by that. And when I learned about Shakeology, my first initial reaction to this protein looking bag was, there's no way it'll be at my standards. There's no way this protein powder will be at my standards. Then I read the ingredients and I was like, I'm taking that, 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 I'm taking that. Wow, this could save me a lot of money, and it's all in one. So you have a clean protein blend. Only 20% of what's in Shakeology is protein. That's important to know. It's high quality protein, but it's only 20% of what the whole product is. The second one is a super greens formula. Third is a super fruits formula. Fourth, excuse me, is an adaptogen blend, which I'll teach you about. And then fifth is a digestive support formula. Now this is all on the back of your bag or on your box. I should have brought my bag over and I didn't. So you can see these and you can read all about it. There's a ton of stuff on our website as well. One of the first clinical trials that they did with Shakeology, I believe they've done 3 now, is this one. And it was a 90-day clinical trial with participants, and they tested their hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood sugar marker in your blood, their cholesterol, and weight loss. And they had Shakeology for breakfast and lunch, and then a regular dinner. And then they didn't change anything else. They didn't change their exercise habits or anything. And look at these results. Their reduction in their hemoglobin A1C by an average of 5%. Oh, excuse me, this was over 90 days. By an average of 5% some up to 19% reduction in cholesterol by an average of 7%, some up to 50%. Can you imagine in 3 months? And it showed it supported healthy weight loss with an average individual weight loss of 9.3 pounds, with the highest being 24 pounds. Absolutely love the study. Here's the FAQ if you want to go find it yourself. Also on our Beachbody Science page, I've referenced this in probably every training that I've done on products. Google Beachbody Science. I don't think they've changed it to Body Science yet. Beachbody Science, and you'll find a lot of our clinical trials. We do double-blind placebo clinical trials, and they're published. So you can, we're working on making them easier for people to find, because I think it's incredibly valuable for those that are very nerdy like me. But you can find this stuff in our FAQs and on the Beachbody Science page. Okay, so we're gonna dive right into the product training. This is our clean protein blend. This is formula number 1. Our bodies break down proteins into amino acids, if you didn't know. And the only reason why this is, I think, a little interesting is that different proteins have different amino acid profiles. So not all protein is the same. Different proteins have different amino acids. Well, our vegan, so whey protein has a complete amino acid profile. Our vegan sources of protein usually are incomplete in and of itself. So like pea protein doesn't have all the amino acids, but when they combine them together, it has all 9 essential amino acids. So that's a cool thing, right? There's intention that's shown. The whey protein that we use is a whey protein isolate, and it's purified through a gentle state-of-the-art cold filtration process specifically designed to maintain integrity of the protein and bioavailability. Bioavailability is just a fancy word for saying your body can recognize and absorb it, because you are not what you eat, you actually are what you absorb. So it's one of the highest purity grade forms of whey protein that's commercially available. It's much more expensive, but that's what we're using. Pretty rad, right? Also, if you didn't know, each batch of Shakeology is tested 1,900 times for this bullet. This got cut off. It's not supposed to say heavy metals. It's supposed to say heavy metals and potency and purity. So both those potency and purity, making sure that the proprietary amount of each of those superfoods is the same in each bag, and that it's pure, that it doesn't have a bunch of contaminants. That's a lot of times from start to finish, from the factory or from the source where those different individual superfoods are gathered to your front door. It is tested multiple times. Okay, moving on. Superfruit blend. So this is our superfruits or antioxidants. Antioxidants are substances that are found in healthy foods that help prevent damage and repair damage that's done to our bodies by things like stress. We'll just leave it at that. Stress and toxins, right? So these are the different superfruits that are in this blend. Here's one difference, if you didn't know, between the vegan blend and our regular or whey-based blend. The vegan blend of Shakeology is for the purists. It has no fortified or added vitamins. The vitamins and minerals that are found in the vegan formula are naturally occurring in the superfoods. The whey or the regular base version of Shakeology has fortified or added raw state vitamins, meaning that they're good sourced vitamins such as vitamin C, vitamin D, B6, B12, folate, and magnesium. And you can reference FAQ 5447 to read more about that and why they chose those and how they went through extensive research to find what vitamins should we add and fortify to this to serve what people, the average adult, is needing. And really that's what this formula of Shakeology is created for. It's created to meet the 5 major deficiencies of the average adult. That's a nice sentence to say in your marketing, right? Shakeology was created to meet the 5 major deficiencies in the average adult. I mean, I like it. Okay, number 3, super greens. We all know greens are good for us, right? They help to support our detoxification pathways. They help to reoxygenize and alkalize our bodies. So these are what are in our super green formula: moringa, chlorella, spinach, kale, and matcha. So this is, I'm like nerd to the extreme when it comes to the power of these ingredients. And while compliance, we can't necessarily talk about, at least the last time I checked, the individual ingredients and what they can do for our bodies. You can look them up so that if you're wanting to boost your confidence in the power of these ingredients, you can research them on your own. And I wrote a 36-page research paper, and I looked up every single ingredient and I connected them with clinical research, and it took me a long time. It took me a very long time. I want to say about, it had to have been like 4 or 5 months. And this was when I think I only had 1 kid. Before I have 3. I have 3 now. And so it would take me even longer. But it really does help to fortify in your own self why you use this every day, why you invest in it every day, and why it is more than worth it. Okay, our adaptogens. These are my favorite because how many of you are stressed? Yeah, everybody. Everybody is stressed. So when we're talking about solving problems for people, you can ask your prospects, what's your stress level? Scale of 1 to 5, where are you at? That'd be a great engaging post that you could do, or a poll. Ask your team that, ask your customers that. Where's your stress levels right now? In my June group, I'm teaching about the nervous system. In June, it's called Grillin' and Chillin'. We're talking about the nervous system, and we're talking about healthy grill recipes. So fun, right? But adaptogens are going to be a huge part of that, because adaptogens help us adapt to our environment. So they're not an upper and they're not a downer. They just help bring us to baseline. They help us adapt. There's a ton of research into the medicinal mushrooms that are in this adaptogen blend. So cordyceps, maitake, reishi, and chaga especially. Go look those up. Go look all of these up. All of these in this blend. If you want your mind to be blown, if you want to help increase the confidence of your team and explain why you're doing this, and maybe help you understand why when you drink Shakeology regularly, for most people, you feel more grounded. You feel less anxious. You have more energy. That is a combination, because of a combination of different ingredients in Shakeology, but the adaptogen blend is a huge part of that. So definitely recommend diving into research a little bit more on these. Again, they're amazing. They're really great at helping support your immune system, stress resiliency, and energy especially. Okay, number 5, our digestive support blend. Now here's the thing. Our company could have just put one of these things in there and it would have been awesome. They could have just put a probiotic, or they could have just put one digestive enzyme, but no. We have a complex formula of digestive support. We have a fiber. Fiber is so important for our overall health. The fiber also acts as a prebiotic. Prebiotics feed probiotics and help them colonize in the gut and grow so that they can become a one big happy family in there and clean house. We have a probiotic, Bacillus coagulans. Bacillus coagulans, if you were to look into the research, is one of the probiotics that is intentional for being known to survive the stomach acid to get to your small intestine where it needs to go to do its work. So if you didn't know, when you eat things, they go through your esophagus and into your stomach, and your stomach is filled with this, first of all, it has a very protective lining, and it is filled with this very acidic liquid that helps to kill bad things that get into your food and digest your food into a liquid, and then it goes through into your small intestine. Your small intestine, how many of you know how long the average small intestine is? Any takers? Anybody? You want to throw out a guess? Put it in the chat. It is, on average, 22 feet long, all curled up in your belly. So when you are feeling bloated and your belly's feeling distended, a lot of times it's because there's gas and there's stuff happening in your small intestine. So when we take probiotics, what we want them to do is get to the small intestine, because a lot of people nowadays have like leaky gut is a term for it. they have parasites and they have just stuff going on in their small intestine because it's such a long journey that that food needs to go through. If it's not fully digested, it can lead to fermentation in the gut, aka smelling gas. It can lead to a lot of people get yeast overgrowth, which is the wrong bacteria growing. That wrong bacteria or parasites can sometimes poke micro holes in your small intestine. That is one of the hypotheses that can potentially lead to complications like a lot of food allergies or autoimmune conditions. Really, a lot of disease begins in the gut. So taking probiotics is really helpful to heal that lining and clean house. That is what the probiotics will, that is their, I'm trying to be so careful with the verbiage that I'm using. That is their purpose, is that good bacteria will get in there and clean house. Okay, and then lastly is digestive enzymes. So the digestive enzymes here, there's several of them, and that's amazing because each one of these was designed to break down a specific food group. So like lactase is specific to help break down lactose. Amylase is specific to break down carbohydrates. So we have a variety of different enzymes in here to help break down food. And that's something like there's books written just on enzymes. Enzymedica is a company that wrote books and developed specific enzymes to show people the importance of enzymes in our entire body and our health. And it's something that they're not infinite. And so having enzymes in our supplement is very amazing. Did I lose any of you yet? I hope not. Because Hippocrates was into this stuff, right? He's quoted as saying that all disease begins in the gut. And when you think about it, this is why do we eat? From a primal reason. We eat to nourish our body so we can live, not because of taste. Maybe that's where we're at now, but we eat to survive, and we eat the food to get the nutrition in our belly, and then our small intestines lined with these finger-like structures. I know that sounds really weird, but that's just what they are, called microvilli, and they have tiny holes in them. And as your food is broken down, it absorbs the vitamins and minerals into those tiny hair-like structures and gets it into the rest of your body so that we can have energy and all of the other systems can work properly. Well, if your gut is damaged, you're not efficiently extracting those nutrients to get to the rest of your body. And that's where we can develop deficiencies and so many other issues. Does that make sense? So it's so important to take care of our gut. All right. So we went through those 5 formulas. Now here's some hot topic info. I'm going to scan through these, but again, you're going to get this slide so that you know. And some of this I realize has changed since I last did this training. Okay, so we talked about how much is tested, which is amazing. It is gluten-free now, so that's good to know. We talked about the vegan Shakeology is not fortified with additional vitamins. For pregnancy and breastfeeding, people always ask this, right? I wrote a blog post on it when I first started coaching because I got that question so many times, and now I just send that to people. I know a lot of coaches in our community have sent my blog post to their customers, but our answer is always check with your healthcare professional. There's a lot of forms that have been created now. Send them the ingredient list. If you or your clients have any digestive sensitivities, I always recommend the vegan formula just because it can be easier to break down. Organic cane sugar, while it does contain some organic cane sugar, it's equivalent on the glycemic index to approximately 1/3 of an apple. So we're still very low glycemic index, which is that next thing. That means we are certified, third-party certified, that Shakeology will not spike your blood sugar. It will keep your glycemic load, your sugar load. It will impact your blood sugar very, very, very minimally. There's things on there that are significantly higher, like popcorn and potatoes. Okay. It's not certified organic, and I know that that's a big objection that people have. But if you look at the standards that our company has, in some cases, it's even higher than an organic certification. And so that's what's important to me, is that certification is, or that those standards are there, and we have amazing standards for that. Okay, so we're getting towards the end, I promise. For those who still think that Shakeology is just an overpriced protein powder, because how many of you have heard of that, right? Oh my gosh, that's really expensive for a protein powder. To which my answer is always, if it was just a protein powder, I would 100% agree with you, but it's not. Now here is a really fun math equation. Okay, retail for customers, Shakeology costs $129. We just learned that there's 5 supplemental formulas within Shakeology that a lot of people purchase separately. A lot of people will go purchase probiotics and they'll go purchase fiber, they'll go purchase protein, they'll go purchase a green powder, they'll go purchase stress formula, right? Many times it's more than 5, but let's just, for ease of math, do that. So you have those 5 formulas in one, so you're spending $129 and you're covering 5 formulas. That's equivalent to $25.80 per formula for a 1 month supply, because that's something a lot of people don't pay attention to, is how many servings are in the individual supplements that you're getting. And with the highest quality standards, you guys, we have no artificial anything in our products. I say that every month. We have no artificial colors, sweeteners, there's no high fructose corn syrup. There's like sweeteners is a big thing. There's sucralose in so many health products and it drives me bananas. And we have no fillers. And most vitamins, go read your vitamins, most of them have fillers in them. We don't have any of that. So $25.80 for a very high quality formula is very, very affordable. But most of us have a coach or a partner account, and that takes it down to $97 for a bag of Shakeology. And of course, this is before taxes and shipping, right? We're just talking about the products right now. So $97 divided by 5 is $19.40. So for under $20, you get an entire month supply of clean protein, super green complex, powerful antioxidant complex, a stress support adaptogen blend, and a digestive support formula for the whole month for under 20 bucks. Have any of you found that with any other company, at any other store, not even at Walmart, could you find a 1 month supply of a crap protein for under 20 bucks? I mean, I don't think you could. And then you're just getting crap anyways. So if you have had price objections on Shakeology and you haven't known how to address them, not any longer, my friend, will you be able to say that, right? Isn't this so great? It's so helpful to wrap your mind around that. Plus, we have our bottom of the bag guarantee. Hopefully all of you know that if someone drinks their whole bag of Shakeology and they are not impressed, they can get a full refund, even if they consumed their whole bag. Can you go to Jamba Juice and say, hey, this had 75 grams of sugar. It made me feel like crap, but I drank it all. Can I get a refund? Most likely they're not going to give it to you, right? And then here's the other part of this. Because of our awesome company and the amazing benefits of network marketing, right? You can get it paid for. You can never go into GNC and say, hey, can I work off these $300 in supplements? No, you can do that, but we could. In 7 years, I've never paid out of pocket 1 month for any of the supplements that I've ordered from Body, because I've worked for it and my family has been able to earn back what I've purchased, which is awesome that that's an opportunity that we get to do, right? Plus we get the total solution pack value and we get the military. I always want to make sure that every partner knows about our military discount because it's something that's very important to me. My husband's a veteran. Our whole family is in the military or has been at some point. Even in my real estate business, like we're huge in supporting our military and law enforcement. And I love that our company does that too. So if you didn't know, if you or your spouse, or let's say if a prospect of yours, them or their spouse is active military or a veteran, then they qualify for a partner account, but they waive the monthly fee and they waive the registration fee. So it's just 25% off for anyone in that category, which is really awesome. Okay, we have the solution, you guys. This was a crash course. It went so fast. We have the solution. It's our responsibility to share it with as many people as we can because people are suffering and they don't have to. It's preventable and we can do something about it. So let's link arms and let's do something about it. I want to see all of your Shakeology posts in the month of June. I want to see how you're using it. If you're using it in a creative dessert, I'm such a boring, like quick person. I usually put it in a mason jar and I shake it with ice, but that's what works for me. And so I share that all the time and how it helps me. I want to see your stories and tag me on Instagram. I'm health_patriot. Feel free to ask me any questions there. And I really do want to hear your top questions or objections that you get about this product, because I'm going to come back on here later in the month of June and I'm going to create a special training just on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry this was a little bit longer, but we had a lot to unpack. So I will get these slides to you. I'll get this YouTube link to you as soon as I can get it uploaded, and I'll get you some awesome content to share for marketing on Shakeology. Go change some lives, you guys. Have a great day.